Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Stand in line for your fix. A triple shot of Marcus in the mix, serving you yet another round of fish and grits. January 11th, 2018. We in the new year, fellas. How's it going?
It's going good. It's cold as hell. It's really
Man,
cold.
did you get some of the ice droppings, man? They was coming down
Man,
on your
I was
boys.
feeling it work. It was sunny one moment, then it was raining one moment, then it's freezing outside. Usually can't get it together.
Cold weather happens all the time, B. It's all good. You know what I'm
I'm just surprised it just is this cold in January in Houston.
saying? Yeah, it is surprising.
But okay, let me say this right quick. So I'm watching the Cavs and the Raptors game right now, and it's a very entertaining game. And who do I
Mhm.
see pop up on my screen? Fucking the
Drake?
light skinned killer Drake. Ah, man, you just ruined the game. Now I got to change it to another channel.
I'm so surprised.
I'm just
I'm
like,
so
dang, I
I
ain't
mean,
trying
the
to see
game
this.
is in Toronto, right?
And I didn't even think about that until I saw him. I said, oh shit, they in
Come on,
Toronto.
man. You know how long Bling gonna be in T Dot. You,
You
kn-
know
you
he on
knew that
that.
was gonna happen.
You know he diddy bopping on the sideline. I see him.
doing this thing. Man, Griff, you was just telling us that you're a little pissed off at the Emmys, man. What they got you all riled up about this time of the
Who?
It was actually
year?
entertaining. It was entertaining little, I like the opening monologue that went on. I enjoyed the presenters. I enjoyed, the kind of the camaraderie between everybody. I enjoyed seeing all the big faces out there. But the thing that blows my mind is when I watch the Emmy sometimes, and now that I'm starting to gear away from watching movies to more watching a lot of television shows, it's a lot of things I watch that are under the radar, like Black Sails, Queen Sugar. You could say maybe we can talk about what's that show, The Night of, and some other shows like some Netflix shows that we talk about. And the thing about Daredevil, you can really talk about that, but it blows my mind when I'm watching the Emmy that in the category they'll have like 5 to 8 movies that they're talking about. I mean, TV shows that they're talking about, and it just amazes me that I feel like so many other TV shows are not even given the same fair shake as some of the shows that they do put in the category, and it blows my mind that they don't that they're not really honoring all the TV shows that are out there. Because just think about how many TV shows do you watch on a daily basis? How many shows do you see pop up on Netflix? How many shows did you see that you probably knew nothing about that came out a year previous? And that's what I'm saying. That there's no possible way that you can uh talk about all these TV shows and give them all a fair shake. And I just think it's a joke because a lot of the categories, or a lot of TV shows that I'm saying, I'm like, I never heard of these shows, and the shows that they're showing me previews of, they don't even look entertaining. And I'm like, I've seen Queen Sugar that should be getting more nominations than half the crap that's on there, and it blows my mind. Like I said before, but when you have the Oscars, movies are subjective, and there's not that many movies. If you got your horror movies, then you got your terrible movies, then you got your good movies, and then you got your subpar movies. So you kind of know what it is, and it's kind of condensed compared to TV shows. So I don't know. I feel like they should do away with the Emmys, honestly.
Oh man, they can do away with all them little award shows, bro.
All of
That,
these
that
awards,
shit ain't for us.
all of these award shows are just fillers for the resume so actors can get
Mhm.
themselves a better price point, producers can get themselves bigger budgets for their next projects and stuff like that. It just gives them the ability to say, oh, I am an Oscar nominated or Emmy nominated or Oscar award winning or Emmy award winning so and so director, producer, actor, actress, to literally add to the name, add to their billing power, add to their star power so that they can generate more money for whatever it is that they want to do. That's pretty much all that it does. Because as we've discussed on this program before, if it really came down to what was popular or what was viewed as much,
Hmm.
a DC or a Marvel movie would have won every Oscar for like the last 12 years for Best
Hmm.
Picture, if that's the case. But we know that that doesn't exist like that. If the Emmys were really about the most watched or most popular programming on TV and stuff like that, dumbass reality TV shows would have dominated the Emmys forever.
Hmm.
Every single Emmy award
Flavor
would
of
have gone to some
love.
sort of reality TV show, and not just talking about the bad ones from like the Flavor of Love, this, that, and the other, but stuff like uh, Top Shelf, Chop,
Oh, there's
Flip
some
It
good
or
stuff right
Flop
there.
It, those types of shows. So many people watch those shows, they should literally win every single year if you're going off of what people actually watch. But we know the criteria is a little bit different, and they have
It's
their,
skewed.
they have their little things that they want to go through and have things get recognized, and it's cool for that demographic and that market, but it's a rapidly diminishing market of people that actually pay attention to it under the terms and criteria for which those shows exist. Because nowadays folks are more progressive like you and I are, to where we want to watch the shit that's good. I don't give a damn what awards it's won.
Exactly.
If it's good, if it tells me a good story and it entertains, I'm gonna watch the shit. I don't care who's in it. I don't care who produced it. I don't care what the soundtrack is like. None of that matters to me. If it entertains me, I'm automatically going to be in.
Because I was a little salty that Narcos didn't get no love, and Narcos was live.
I never expected them to. Half the shows that I like ain't never gonna get no nominations or no awards. And you know what? That's just fine by me, because they get the Uncle Buzz Awards, and that shit is hotter than anything.
That's high as hell.
Hotter than anything on the street, homie.
The highest recognition you can get in the
Shouts out to that terrible movie that they love hating on right now. That's the most watched fucking movie in the history of Netflix, Bright, with my man Will Smith, while they over there talking down. The most watched fucking movie ever in the history of this streaming service. But let these so-called critics and experts tell it, it's a horrible movie.
And it's far from horrible. Far from horrible. And I'm going to tell you right now, just for one scene alone, this movie is very entertaining. The strip club scene is phenomenal.
What? Bro,
I watched that shit again. I was like, damn.
I literally watched that over. Like, I literally watched that particular scene over like 5-6 times. Like, damn,
it went left so really quick. Like, I was just chilling. I'm like, okay, whoa.
Yeah, it's like when keeping it real goes wrong. Like it just went like in a direction I did not expect.
It kept going left. It's like it was.
I didn't know the else were that raw. I was impressed.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, yeah, it's gonna come. Oh shit, this shit ain't coming down. Oh goddamn.
Yeah, people want to hate on it and say it wasn't that good. It was very entertaining to me. I thought it was entertaining.
They don't want people to stop going to movie theaters and stay at home and watch streaming shit. That's why they keep hating on it.
Yep.
Truth be told, it's some shit in the theaters that don't even entertain me as much as that movie.
Don't get me started. I'm already hot over here.
I mean, we are rapidly entering a day and age, and I call my shot, and I'll say within 2 years we're gonna have one of these major motion pictures, probably something comic book related, where it's not going to debut in a box office theater. It's going to debut on a Hulu or a Netflix, and that is going to be earth shattering. And the movie theater industry, as we know it, is going to be turned on its ear, because for the first time in a long time, they are going to have legitimate, in their face, up front, what are you gonna do about it competition?
That press defense, that full court press.
In they face, that Nolan Richardson 40 minutes of hell Arkansas Razorback D.
Slapping the court. You
know what I'm saying? we guard with our feet, homie, not with our hands. We're giving you this motion.
Man, but before we get on the Black Panther hype train, which is right around the corner, what else y'all been catching as far as theaters, on the screen, on Netflix?
You go first,
Griff. I'm going to let you know, I personally been boycotting all movies until I go see Black Panther.
I feel you.
That's so racist.
Hey, you at least gotta see Den of Thieves. I mean,
no, man, I can't see nothing.
Come on, don't do it like that.
That is so racist.
Nothing. I gotta discriminate against all movies. Nah, I really haven't caught. I haven't really caught anything because nothing really appealed. I mean, y'all told me Jumanji was good. I want to see that.
It was okay for what's been coming out. It's probably one of the best movies.
Jumanji was lit. Jumanji was better than the original. Period.
Yeah. Hey, that's not saying much, because honestly, I went back and watched Jumanji. That movie's really terrible.
Robin
makes that movie.
Well, it's got the sentimental feel. It's got the sentimental feel for the originality of the concept at the time.
Robin Williams.
It had strong performances from David Allen Greer and Robin Williams in there to help it out. And then the CGI was a little inventive for the time, with the way that they did the stuff with the animals and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, that monkey scene was nice with David Allen Greer. I forgot he played in that movie.
The one thing that I'll give to the new Jumanji, and one reason why I hold it in such high regard as it compares to the first one, is the fact that they took the storyline in itself and completely modernized it, but they did not take away from the spirit of the actual original concept itself. And that's something that's hard to do when it comes to reboots or sequels. They had great interaction with the characters. The Rock is as expected. Kevin Hart is as expected. A very pleasant surprise for me was Jack Black, who for my money stole tons of scenes in that movie.
Oh yeah.
He did an excellent job, but it's a good movie. It's a good movie all around.
I'm gonna check it out. I just gotta. It just, when I was I want to say like 2 years ago, or man, honestly, you can take it back. It's like 5 years ago. I used to write movie reviews, and I used to really into cinema because everything seemed kind of fresh and new. Then after
Well,
a
that's just 'cause
while,
you ain't had no Fire Stick back then. That's all.
oh no, see the Fire
Fire
Stick
Stick
messed it
changed
up
the
now.
game.
No, see,
Changed the
I'm,
game.
I'm cool with paying for movies with the Fire Stick comes
I'm
in
just-
handy is for
I'm
those
just poking.
underworld movies, those Fast and the Furious movies that I showed. I ain't trying to pay no money to see, but
Bruh.
I kind of lost my passion because
What did you say,
why-
Griff? Them Insidious movies?
Oh yeah, I heard DeMarcus in
Please,
that movie
bro,
was
please.
horrible.
Let's have a good time. Let's have a good
Okay.
time.
We'll carry it on.
My bad.
But when I'm watching these movies, it just seems like something is lacking in a lot of these films. You don't see the passion, or you don't see. I can't see the director's vision always. I kind of see like, okay, they try to put this here to promote this, or I see them put this here to get this type of audience, and it doesn't seem like I always see their vision. But when I watch TV shows nowadays, you can truly see what a director is trying to do, because a lot of these directors don't really direct the whole season. They kind of pick episodes or whatnot, but you can really see what they're trying to communicate. And I kind of been more in tune with TV, so I lost sight with movies. Not saying that there are some good movies out there, but it just kind of I have lost my passion. But Sicario 2, woo, and Black Panther, that's gonna get me back in the theaters.
I'm really hoping this Den of Thieves look like the trailer
Man,
looks
I
pretty
hope so.
good.
I hope so.
The trailer looks okay, and like you said, 50 Cent is the most hit or he's the J.R. Smith
Okay,
of
time out.
of all media.
Time out. Now let's be honest with ourselves here. I'm gonna need y'all to tell me a bad 50 Cent movie.
Bro, all those little underground movies he was making.
He had a few movies that were
No.
questionable.
I'm gonna need you. I didn't ask you for questionable. I need you to tell me what a bad 50 movie was. Name one.
All right, let me go. Okay, so Get Rich or Die Trying was good. Let me see. Freelancers, never heard of that movie. Southpaw was good. All the Things Fall Apart, never heard of that one.
It's taking you a while though, right?
Yes.
All Things Fall Apart is where he played the football player that ended up dying from cancer. That was actually a good movie too. My thing is this. Love him, hate him, say what you want about him and stuff like that. 50 Cent actually doesn't have that bad of a resume when it comes to motion pictures.
Oh, I don't think
I'm not saying it's bad, but it can be hit or miss.
I'm not saying that y'all are saying that it's bad per se, but if you need a reason to give a Den of Thieves a chance, I'll give you two. Number one, 50 doesn't do bad when it comes to major motion pictures because A, he knows how to kind of stay in his lane as far as his acting spectrum goes. And two, this is a fucking bank heist movie? Are you kidding me? What more would you want 50 Cent to be in?
He got the star from 300. I mean, that kind of.
Come on.
Hey, but this is the thing,
He got some good
Lamar
backing.
Butler has not played in a good movie in a while.
We
That's
know
one
that.
hit.
We know
They have porn. Hold on. They have Porn Stash from Orange Is the New Black, who hasn't played in any type of movie really. And the only knock is other knock I do is studios have what they call dumping months. So January used to be February, January, September, October is the dumps of where they trying to dump some of their movies, their lower budget movies, and they don't know if they're going to do as well. So that's another knock. But the good thing is, by the trailer, it looks entertaining. So I'm not going to knock it, and I'm going to go see it.
It looks entertaining.
It's a heist movie. It's a heist movie.
Yeah.
I'm in. It's a heist movie.
If you play Payday the Heist, you'll know what it is.
But I wanted to give a shout out to a movie because when I look at the trailer of Den of Thieves, there's a movie that came out in 2017 that I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't watch. It's called Shot Callers, and it features Amari Hardwick, Ghost from Power. And that movie went really under the radar, but it was one of those type of films where I think of a Sicario, one of those type of films that kind of go under the radar, but when you go back and you watch, you be like, damn, this is a good film, and I slept on this. Like, I should have saw this. So that's one of the movies I think people should check out.
Okay. And for all of my woke people, I understand that we have record-breaking pre-sales for Black Panther, and that's a beautiful thing, and all that other good stuff. On On Tuesday, the CW will be releasing a new TV series from DC Comics called Black Lightning, based on another black superhero that has been largely unheard of, but has been very significant in the DC Comics world. Member of the Justice League, member of an old group for all my old heads, Batman and the Outsiders. Has a very good story. I will not do my part to give too much of it away because I think they're going to do a good job of telling his backstory and kind of to watch, but it doesn't get a lot of airplay because unfortunately everybody is, in their fields with Black Panther, and deservedly so. But give Black Lightning a chance. Give it a look. Pay attention.
The trailer's been out there. I've been seeing them.
I mean, it's been out there, but if you go through it and you ask 7 people out of 10, don't even know that Black Lightning is coming out on Tuesday.
Man, the comic book people out there. But another thing,
comic heads know. Don't get me wrong. Comic heads know.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm not. I mean, from the trailers, it's kind of shaky. CW kind of shaky, and how I like their comic book movies. But I'm gonna give it a shot. But the thing that I also wanted to bring up is Black Panther. Can we give some love to Black Panther that it's outpacing Civil War, and it may end up being one of Marvel's highest selling movies that weekend.
Preach it into existence.
It will.
There you go.
I guarantee it will make over $150 million that weekend, and it will.
That the over
will. That gross, huh?
That the over under 150.
I'm gonna say right now they got the projections up to 140.
I think that's lowballing it. Honestly, I think they'll break 2.
You think they're gonna see? The thing is, okay, this is the thing.
Okay,
there's only been 2 movies. There's only been 2 movies.
Into consideration this though as well before you finish. Let's take this into consideration too. First showings for that start that Thursday, 15th. So we're talking Thursday to Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you already have, in a city as big as Houston, half of their movie theaters are sold out for showings, multiple showings on multiple days.
And I got the 3D seats.
They're gonna break 200 million opening weekend.
See, man, there's only two movies have done that, and I'm just like, I don't know. I just do not. Okay, the only movies that have made that in an opening weekend are actually, it is 1, 2, 3. It's only 3 movies that done that. Star Wars, Jurassic Park. I don't know. I just don't know. It may make over. I may push it to 160.
Yeah, you can go ahead and go to Facebook and just type in the search Black Panther watch parties, and I'm telling you, it's gonna break.
See, but that's the thing is, I'm cool with that. But I just don't think the reason why I say that is because I don't think it's even when Black people, like, not trying to be taking racial, but even when Black people show up to an event or a movie or something like that, we still show up in droves, but we don't command that larger portion of the movie.
The Black people aren't the ones that are going to bankroll this and push it.
Now down. I know Marvel fans are going to show out, so it's going to do a flat 100 million already. Now I think a lot of the Black people that's going to come, is it going to give it that extra $100 million push? Now I think it's going to give it that $50 million, $60 million push. And then you have the extra, 10 people.
The thing you have to think about, though, in addition to that, though, is that this is still yet another cog in the machine that gets everybody closer to Infinity War as well. So you're going to have people that are looking at this as another piece of the puzzle, as well as the singularity of the fact that, yes, it's the Black Panther and Black folks is excited about it and stuff like that, too. You're still getting pieces of the puzzle in this movie to help you get closer to that Infinity War, though. That's what's going to bring it over the top, because it's going to put it in a position where it's going to crisscross demographics. It's going to overcome demographics of whether it's just going to be the Black folks that's out there pushing it, or the comic book heads that's pushing it, or the casual comic book movie fan that's going to push it. They're all going to go see it for that reason. And that's why I think it's going to be an anomaly in the fact that it's probably going to outsell Infinity War opening weekend.
Okay, this is the caveat I'll give you, that it may push over 200 million. And you know what? Let's say fuck it. Let's go ahead and say it's gonna make over 200 million, just for this one caveat.
Damn.
So it's outpacing Civil War in advanced ticket sales, by I say they said by what 20% or something like that. So say if that keeps going, Civil War that weekend made $179 million. It could push 190 because Age of Ultron made 190. So
Yeah,
you
Age of
might have a
Ultron.
point. And the thing about it is, if I was Black Panther, what I would really wish they would push is that one scene, like what can I say? I wish they did that during one of the football games, have that one scene, or even for the Super Bowl, have that one scene in what's that movie, Civil War, where he's that chase scene, him and Bucky.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Amazing
you
Talk.
talking about putting some butts in some seats if they see that shit? Oh man.
Oh yeah, that'll be
At
big.
this point, they don't have to give out no more trailers. They don't have to show no more scenes. They can just.
It's sold. It's been sold. It's been
I just want to
sold.
see more. I just want to see more. Just give me the
They can
movie.
just go to let it ride. They can't take more mystery out of the movie. Just
Exactly.
Damn it, Ryan
keep it as
Coogler.
is and keep
Give me the cut of the movie now,
How many times y'all gonna see it that opening week?
bro. I may see the last time I seen a movie on repeat viewings was when Avatar came out, and that's 2009, and I saw that movie like 6 times. So I may see this movie like, man, I used to go. Okay, man, let me tell you the story. One movie that I seen, the only movie I seen a numerous amount of times was let me see how to correct this. The movie that I seen the most times over in theaters would have to be, I think it was Batman Begins. I saw that movie 10 times in theaters.
Good Lord.
And I paid for it. I paid for it.
Griff got his money worth, huh?
Bro,
Good
I'm
God.
telling you, man, that movie right there, that's my movie. That's my movie. But I think I'm gonna see it about 3 times probably.
About 3 times. Where you
For
at?
me, I know that I know that right now I am scheduled to see it.
My man got appointments.
Schedule.
Here it is. Appointment.
Yeah, I got different. Well, I have my different friends and stuff like that are having watch parties and stuff like that I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna have my one big night to go out with my family, my brothers and sisters-in-law, my wife, my mother-in-law, my mom and dad, stuff like that. We're gonna get together and do it, and then I'll have time with my babies, my god babies that want to go see it and hang out with God Dad because they know that he's the OG when it comes to this comic book stuff. So I'll probably. I know I'm scheduled to at least see it 4 times the first 3 days that it's out.
Nice.
I'll see it more than that though.
So we're gonna have a hell of a review on that one. That may take about 30 minutes. We're gonna have a
we're gonna have like a mini podcast, and we laugh, but we can pretty much
seriously.
You can pretty much book that. We're gonna have a mini podcast
30
on that.
minutes to an hour at least.
Man, we're gonna talk about that bad boy. I'm gonna dissect that shit, man. I'm so pumped about this movie just for the fact that I fan cast this man. Just seeing him play Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman. Man, when I first saw Jack 42, I said this dude needs to play Black Panther. Everybody was talking about man, what's his name? I cannot say his name. The African dude, you know what I'm talking about. Kimora Simmons' ex-husband. Everybody was like, there you go. Everybody wanted him to be Black Panther. Wesley Snipes, what's his name? Michael J. White. I'm like, no, they do not fit the character from the comic book standpoint. And it's just like looking at Chadwick Boseman, he just embodies of what you would think Black Panther looked like from comic books.
Don't get it twisted. If they would have came out with this shit around the same time that they came out with Blade, Wesley Snipes was the perfect Black Panther.
Yeah, he would have been
He's
perfect.
just old now. He's good to play his dad.
You know what? I really would. I was wishing they was playing Kimora. What's his name? Kimora Simmons' ex-husband. Him. If he played his dad, and they played his dad, and they say that he got defeated by White Ape or something like that, and you know he had. I thought that in my mind. I literally wrote a script in my mind. But yeah, I like Chadwick, man.
Like that was the one thing that I didn't like from Civil War is the fact that the guy. Well, no, not that they killed him off, but I did not like the guy that they chose to play T'Chaka
because he didn't look like he.
People that know the Black Panther history knows that it's something that's passed down from generation to generation, and he didn't look like he was ever in shape to ever be a Black Panther.
No disrespect,
but
it's so true. It's so true. It looked like
I mean, it's just one of those things. If you know the history of Black Panther, you know that it's something that's passed down. part of the mythos is you challenge, to one-on-one
Nah,
combat.
I'm only laughing because I can imagine like both y'all and think like,
But the only thing is,
playing,
hey, but the
Yeah,
only thing that I wanted to see is if Black Panther, if they kind of let us know that okay, Black Panther's being he's been Black Panther, T'Challa's been Black Panther for like maybe 10 years or something like that. Then it's like, okay, well, I see why your dad chunky now. He enjoying, he kicking back and he kicking back and eating some good African food.
I still don't buy it.
Nah,
listen.
I'll let it slide. I'm not gonna
you are
nitpick.
too fat to be him. Sorry,
sir.
Yeah, I got to.
If the shit got thick right now, sir, are you gonna throw hands?
Can you throw hands?
I didn't
How
think
many
so.
people can you take? I got
I didn't
20.
think so, sir.
I got 20. How many you got?
You know what I'm saying? No. That's what my son is for. My son
Yeah.
does that now. No,
This is why I gave him the Black Panther.
I don't fight no more. I stop.
I
Get your lazy ass.
delegate.
Now, speaking of fighting, man, all this fighting that's going on in the NBA between the players and the refs. First off, the NBA has been very entertaining, entertaining. But the refs,
It's been high.
What did you say?
the refs are determining a lot of these games, like the point blank period. Like the refs are deciding who wins and who doesn't. Half of these games.
Bro, you just said the NBA's been really entertaining, and I've been telling you that from the get-go, from the start. The NBA has been on fire. Brooklyn Nets are giving it they all. I've been impressed.
Hey,
The
do you want it to
Bulls
be entertaining or do you want it to be competitive though? Because entertaining to me makes me think it's like WWE.
Let me
And
take
that
it
means
back.
that the refs are doing too much. If it's competitive, it's a lot of parity going on. Any given night, somebody can beat somebody. Okay, that's different. But if it's entertaining, that just means that there's a lot of drama and shit that I don't really want to see.
Yeah,
It's been competitive. It's been very competitive. Just for the
No,
simple fact
it's been more in it because the refs
No.
have too much power, man.
No, it's not even.
I'm
I'm not even gonna say it's been just entertaining because it's been competitive because a lot of these bottom feeder teams are actually coming into playing.
Yeah, I see the Rockets are doing pretty good this year.
Oh man, you watch your disrespect to come out your mouth.
Oh, I had to start that
was
2018 off right.
I felt that smack of you uttering those words over him.
He was lazy with the pass, and I stole it through the lane like
my
Leonard for the
Lord.
slam. Okay,
That
I'm
is
sorry.
so disrespectful.
My bad.
See, look what you done. Now Kawhi's not gonna come back for the rest of the year.
Whoa, come on, man.
And we're still on pace to win 55 games. It's wet,
Y'all
skies,
slipping.
blue,
Hey,
Spurs
y'all
win
slipping.
50.
Hey, y'all slipping over the last couple of games. Y'all been.
We
been
slipping, and we already at 29, 30 wins.
hey, we're gonna talk about this
I
later
mean,
on. But
Texas Spurs win
back
games.
is what I was saying. It's been very competitive, like the Lakers. If you look at them, they're a bottom feeder team. But if you watch their games, they're really into the games. They kind of slip in the fourth. What young teams do. But the Brooklyn Nets are not terrible. The Bulls are actually entertaining to watch. With their competitive nature.
Even Orlando Magic was fourth in the East.
They were for
That's what I'm saying.
time, and then I don't know. I think I don't know what happened. Honestly,
Just
they
a
saw
big
Victor Oladipo start balling. It's like shit. This is what we had, and we got rid of.
But honestly, not just the Rockets. It's been other games where these refs are taking control of the entire.
They take control of the game, but there needs to be checks and balances because there's no reason why you should look at instant replay and you should see that there's a foul and still get it wrong. Like, that blows my mind.
It makes no sense. Y'all have like a full. All right, let's go to New York and see what they got to say.
I think in the bottom four.
Let me ask this question. In you guys' opinion, because this is one of the things that sticks out to me when it comes to the refereeing situation in the NBA and in sports period at this point. As a referee, put yourself in the mind of a referee and stuff like that, and you know that you have to go through, you have to do your job to your best of your ability. You know that there's always going to have to be human error to be accounted for, but to me, I think that it adds a different layer nowadays because there's so much in the way of checks and balances, for lack of a better term, because regardless of what a referee says or does on the court, there's going to be replays and there's going to be challenges and there's going to be this and there's going to be that. And that's one of the main reasons why you see in particular in baseball, they don't go that route. They don't let you do all this stuff. They don't go with all these replays, this, that, and the other. Whatever the umpire says, good, bad, ugly, otherwise. Yes. to a certain extent, I think that part of the reason why these refs are starting to become a bigger part of the storylines and they're coming up under so much scrutiny is because they're being allowed to be put under so much scrutiny. Everybody gets a chance to voice their opinion on what they called and showing all these replays and micromanaging every single play.
And if
Back in the day, referees still made the same kind of mistakes. The referee still blew the same kind of calls and stuff like that. You just didn't have 55 different replays and everybody running their opinion about it.
The 2-minute report.
I think that matters. I think that's a fact.
The 2-minute report is like telling you if you do your job bad or not. That's trash, bro. Like, don't tell me that these refs missed 5 calls in 2 minutes. Like, don't tell me.
Man, they need to shake it all up and go back to old school and stop calling so many fouls. Let's go back. Like, why do we get? Because
the players are too expensive now to not call fouls.
But that's what I'm saying.
Talk about how they want it to be old fashioned.
Yeah, they investments now.
Guess what? Somebody
like that. That price point is completely different. The time when people was talking about, back when Mike was playing and the league was that much tougher and this, that, and the other. Yeah, Mike was only making $3 million a year with the Bulls. Yeah.
But guess what?
It's completely different.
They went back. I was listening to NBA radio today on Sirius XM. That's a nice little plug. But I was listening today, and they were talking about looking at the injury history of players compared to players now. Yeah, I think maybe the NBA is looking at the long-term durability of these players because that's why you see a lot of the NBA players all knock-kneed and stuff like that, I guess, because they kind of wore and tore in their body. So I can see why they micromanage a lot of their minutes and that you call these ticky-tack fouls. But some of the fouls are out of control. Literally, you can come – James Harden, as much as I love James Harden, he gets the most ridiculous calls. I mean, you get a foul call for every little thing from you leaning into me to shoot a fucking 3-pointer. Excuse my language.
Or when they hook the arm.
Hook the arm and shit. Or you free arm it and you clearly pushing off on me and I bump your bodies with you and you want to call that a foul. What LeBron James always does. But you know what? It just blows my mind that those are called fouls. I think you should let those go, man, in my opinion.
And then how the players just get so distraught when they don't get the call. Like, I don't know if y'all seen what the hell Boogie Cousins did a couple nights ago when he didn't get a call. It's just start walking up the court, not hustling back, and one playing. I'm like, bro, you can't do that. You make too much fucking money to be half-assing like that.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. They're gonna have to do something about this.
Attitude reflects leadership.
That's true. That's true. And as much as I say he's the best player on that team, Anthony Davis is much more composed. Yes, Boogie can hoop a little bit better, has a bigger skill set, but his mind frame is not there.
But he hasn't been slipping as much. He hasn't been slipping as much.
But attitude reflects leadership.
I really think he just needs one of those.
If the coach lets him do it, what's to stop him from doing it?
I'll be honest with you.
Now, you pitch that tantrum after you don't get that call and stuff like that, and you drag ass in it, and that coach sit your ass down for a quarter. Yeah. I bet you won't do it again.
That's what got Fizdale fired.
But this is what Boogie needs. Okay, he needs a coach that's grounded, that does not shake like a Popovich, like a Brad Stevenson, like a Carlisle, one of them coaches are not unshakable. One that's gonna be like, I'm gonna get in your face and let you know, but I'm gonna also be with you and I'm gonna ride with you. And that's why you see these players, you don't hear problems of the Celtics or problems with the Spurs or problem with that. Even as bad as Dallas being, they're still competitive. Even when they're going through their woes, even when they were going with their. You remember everybody was getting traded off and no one was really talking shit because guess what? The coach wouldn't allow that shit. And I'm just like, he needs one of those coaches. He has one of these young coaches, these little throwaway coaches that here today, gone tomorrow. I mean, he needs some stability. And I'm surprised that nobody has tried to grab him and say, I need that dude. I don't. It blows my mind, period.
Well, I mean, New Orleans ain't about to let him go at this point.
I mean, they're not going to let him go because he's better.
I mean, it's not like he was going to get that guy to Sacramento. So, I mean, and now he's been in the league how long, being able to do whatever he wants?
It's almost 8 years, I believe.
Yeah.
That's hard habits to break at this point.
Yeah, that's true. You are what you are by 8 years.
I mean, by now, what you see with him is what you're going to get. I mean, it's going to come down to him wanting to change, him wanting to do what it takes. It's not something that somebody is going to necessarily break him out of. He's going to have to break himself out of it at this point. He's not 22, 23 years old no more. It don't work like that.
Yeah, he got to grow up.
Yeah.
Big time. Man, what's some deserving all-stars that y'all truly feel that's not going to make it?
Let me look
Clint Capella. Clint Capella.
I think he should win Most Improved.
Clint Capella. Clint Capella.
We said
Clint
it. Are you saying that Clint is deserving of an All-Star?
Clint Capella.
Since he's showing some love to Clint Capella,
I think he trolling.
LaMarcus Aldridge. I'll give some love to him.
Clint Capella. I'll get to LaMarcus Aldridge, but I want to stress the fact that I've noticed this young man's hustle. I've noticed this young man's improvement working with the GOAT. Akeem Olajuwon has definitely paid off dividends. Everything that they wanted to see improvement-wise in Dwight Howard, they're actually seeing in Houston from Clint Capella. Now, you should have signed his ass in the offseason. You're going to have hell signing his ass now because somebody is going to throw his ass a bucket of money.
Mm-hmm. And they should have known that, but I don't understand this. Me and DeMarcus even talked about this, that they should have locked that down because he's gonna be a beast this year.
Capella has been marvelous to watch. He's doing
exactly what Stoudemire would do, but he doesn't have the jumper. Just think if he develop a jumper, then he'll be a whole nother different type of player.
We lucky he can hit these free throws.
Exactly, and consistently. But I can't really complain about nobody because the people that I thought should have been on there is already on there because they have Jason Tatum, who I think deserves to be up there. Brown needs to be higher than Bradley, Beal, and Kyle Lowry, Isaiah Thomas, Dwayne Wade. Victor Oladipo is getting his love, so I'm glad about that.
And that's one guy I hope makes it. I think Victor,
he deserves it.
Coming from the type of season he had last year, he got destroyed in the media. They was blaming him for losing that series.
There's one
person. Watch me shine, player.
Man,
there's one person that got no love, and I think this is ridiculous. My boy Tobias Harris, J. Cole of the North.
Bro, you've been cheering for Tobias for 3 years. Dog, I swear you just
J. Cole of the North.
I swear you just Asian, bro.
I'm trying to tell you, that man is averaging he's averaging 22 points a game, like almost 7 rebounds. Like, give this man some love. Like, it's pitiful.
The two biggest snubs that's gonna end up being on the All-Star team is gonna be Lou Williams and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Oh yeah, Lou been balling. He been balling of late.
Fuck Lou, man. No.
Oh, that what? Fuck Lou.
Lou Williams been averaging almost 23 points, 5 assists a game.
No, fuck Lou.
Get bench work.
Lou felt the shit out of us, man.
But Lou didn't want to leave.
I can't forget. Man, fuck Lou, bro. Lou said, man, all right, Houston, let's just act like this never happened. Nah, fuck that, bro.
Wow, this guy is super.
Don't be mad at Lou, because y'all can't swing no good deals.
Man, you're right, because I wouldn't have got rid of him.
Man, fuck Lou. I don't blame him. The way he choked in that third quarter against the Spurs, I don't blame him.
I mean, he did choke
for your team.
The whole team
choked for your team.
But the thing is, we had a lead before. I ain't gonna talk about it.
I was fucking at home.
Didn't choke for your team.
Ryan Anderson came through. I can't say that. Ryan Anderson did come through this.
Boy, stop. You just daddy fact sacks voice. Boy, stop.
It was James and Lou that let everybody down. But I mean, hey, the Spurs had played hella good ball. Patty Mills was destroying us. We had no answer for him. Murray, they were destroying us. They played better. They played a better ball
in the playoffs, sir. That's why we're the Spurs.
Oh, here we go. I gotta hear this shit.
Said it, meant it.
Yeah, that's a couple of the All-Star snubs, man. Did y'all end up catching the NCAA championship game on Monday?
Yes, I did, just so I can tune in and see that Black Panther trailer that they dropped, and also see K-Dot put on a nice performance.
You heard his echo? Was I tripping?
I think we got an echo in here. Oh, now we good. Okay, now we good. Now I thought it was a great game. I didn't think it was.
Did you think Alabama went out and won it, or did you think Georgia choked it away?
They kind of choked it. Georgia.
Now, Tongo Valea, Tua came in big time, man. He made some big time throws when he got in the game.
I can't sit here and say that Georgia choked the game away when they went out there. They played hard. They left it all out on the field. Alabama just simply outplayed them in the situations that they needed to outplay them in.
Especially that long ball.
Was it just me, or did you not understand why Nick Chubb had 18 carries? Like, did that kind of like at some point they realized that he didn't have the juice? 18 carries for 25 yards, like, bro, give it to Shoney Michelle.
Yeah,
here's the thing, and this is where the things kind of get skewed, and you have to kind of understand the anomaly that is. we're playing against Alabama in a championship game. Some things that people need to understand and remember is this. Number one, the worst feeling for any team and any coach is having to play against Alabama with more than a week for Nick Saban to prepare to play against you. Good thing. He's arguably the best coach given time, extended periods of time to game plan against other teams. All world performances by Deshaun Watson seem to be his only kryptonite at this point. And those were all world performances that it took to beat them. Secondly, when you go into that, the other part that I tell people, it's a numbers thing. It's one of those things that he won't admit it publicly, but he takes a tremendous amount of pride in. Nick Saban has yet to lose to any of his assistants that have ever worked under him. It comes with the territory. When you go through and you play against yourself, you're not supposed to lose to yourself. Georgia, Alabama-ish. People should be real scared next year because they're young, they're hungry, they got a lot of talent, and they officially have a chip on their shoulder. Man, they're going to come out and they're going to set the world on fire next year. They got a ton of talent on that team.
Roquan played a hell of a game, though. I said he had to step up. I feel like he did his job. I mean, you couldn't ask for more. I mean, 13 tackles, 9 solo, a sack, and 2.5 tackles.
No. I just need him to go ahead and stay healthy, go to this combine, and get that number 14 draft slot ready. Come on, Roquan. We need you, baby. We need you.
I see where this is going.
We need you, baby. We need you, baby.
But
yeah, I'm a fan. I put it out there. I put the shameless plug out there. Let's get it, Roquan. I need you in that green and gold, baby. I need you out there, son. I need you next to Blake and Clay. We need that havoc on the field, baby. I need playmakers.
Martinez and Smith.
My defense is trash, son. My defense is trash, son.
That man was great.
Martinez and Smith could be Willis and Navarro.
Boy.
Hey, man, that's saying a lot because my boy Patrick Willis was putting.
Roquan is the truth.
He's one of those linebackers that got that switch. You don't see that switch with a lot of linebackers that can just cut it on. He cuts it on in big pressure situations.
Like Roquan is special. I will give him that. He is special.
Yes, and I feel like he at least put that on display. So you got the tape, and all he got to do is have a hell of a combine, and he may be a cheesehead. He may be a cheesehead, and I would not be surprised.
I don't think that he would last much further than 14. No. I honestly do not, and I'm honestly skeptical because if he has a good enough combine, he won't make it out of the top 10.
Yeah, but both of those true freshmen put on the show too at quarterback, especially Tungo Valoa.
Oh my goodness! And yeah, I like what my man did, coming in relief of Jalen Hurts and showing up big, not shrinking in the moment and stuff like that.
Some nuts, bro. That took some nuts to make that type of move. Only Saban can do that type of move.
I will still take the time and make sure that I give all the credit in the world to that young kid from Georgia because he's held it down for them all season.
Oh, Jake Fromm.
Exceeding expectations.
Jake did his thing.
When a lot of people did not expect him to be able to grab the mantle and hold that team down like he did. That kid has a lot of moxie. That's the best prospect I've seen in Georgia at quarterback since Matthew Stafford was there. That kid is going to be really good. He's going to cash an NFL paycheck.
Hey, I'm with you 100%, my man. And so let's talk about a couple of these job openings that's been going on in the NFL. I know the biggest move that we've seen is Jon Gruden going back to the Raiders. What type of effect do y'all think that Jon Gruden is gonna have? I already see where it's going. Me personally, I ain't like the hiring.
I just hired somebody for the offensive coordinator who's I'm not a fan of.
Shit, Jon Gruden just got paid, bro. He about to go to Vegas. I think he's gonna
give somebody 10
bro. I don't
$100 million for 10 years. What?
10 years?
How young do they think he is?
Is this like a college contract?
Sluggo scene, homies. Sluggo scene.
Yeah, I don't like the hire. I don't like the hire. I think they could have did a little bit.
They could have stuck with Jack Del Rio, in my opinion, because he wasn't terrible. I just think he had a bad year. Everything that went wrong, went wrong.
Here's my thing on it. You're going to sell more PSLs and more seat licenses and more season tickets in Vegas when you have a name like Jon Gruden behind the Raiders than Jack Del Rio.
That's
first and foremost. Secondly, it's one of those names that Raider Nation has loved for a long time. So, all is good as far as they're concerned for folks that are on the outside looking in that don't have rose-colored silver and black glasses on. His resume is kind of questionable to garner that much attention and that much money. Never one to talk down on how much somebody is worth or what they should be getting, so I'm not even going to get into that. But I will say that uh, this 10-year stretch that he's going through now, I hope is going to be better than the 10-year stretch before he stopped coaching.
Yeah, because it was bad.
Because for $100 million, you better come up with more than just one ring off somebody else's talent.
You ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying. That's Tony team. Everybody say it.
I mean, I just think they was reaching with that.
And
one,
then
honestly.
got the hook up both sides because we talk about that and we like, oh yeah, he took Tony's team to the Super Bowl, this, that, and the other. You took Tony's team to the Super Bowl and got a free cheat sheet because you played against the team that you just coached that didn't even change their playbook.
And Dexter Jackson looked like a damn all-star out there. Dexter Jackson didn't do shit else in his career after that Super Bowl. Nothing.
They should have.
Went to the Browns, grabbed that cash, and clocked out.
He would have actually had more success if he went to the Bucs, really, and they just went ahead and just did away with Derek Cutter.
Yeah,
because I think all the Bucs needed was motivation. They just needed a coach to motivate them, and they could be going to the Super Bowl right now.
Somebody that can motivate Winston. I feel like Winston don't respect his coach, honestly.
Exactly. That's all they needed was a motivator and somebody could.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that he's just fine where he is. We have plenty of good coaches in the NFC right now. No need to add to that pile. Let him stay over there in the AFC. It's fine.
Oh, and you guys have been trying to save somebody, but this is gonna happen.
Who we trying
to save?
Who we trying to save?
Y'all been trying to save Rick Smith since we started.
That ain't who?
I ain't gonna let it happen. I ain't gonna let it happen. No, I ain't never tried to save no Rick Smith. I haven't been able to get some things off my chest, and I'm gonna
give it on. Let it fly. Go let it fly, brother.
Now, Mr. Rick Smith, the man. I pray you and your wife, beautiful Tiffany. I know she's gonna get through this battle. I just recently brought somebody to the council battle. You're gonna get through it. Beautiful kids, middle school, elementary school, high school, they're gonna graduate. You ain't gotta worry about moving. And I salute you for securing the bag because you are tied into one of the richest families of all time. But Rick Smith, the GM, I apologize. First off, I apologize that the owner didn't listen to you when you said, I think Peyton Manning is going to be the best solution for this team. Then he backdoor and goes to your old team and hosts up a Lombardi. That shit hurts. But as mad as I am about Charlie Casserly for passing up Aaron Rodgers, and I never let that shit go, Casserly still has the best draft class in Texans history, and that's nothing but a fact. You bring your ass down here to Houston. Your first pick is Amobi Okoye, undersized defensive lineman. That's not going to work, bro. Jacoby Jones didn't have no success down here, but he went on to put up a hell of a show with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm not feeling that shit. So Steve Slayton, 1 year, get up out of here. Yeah, exactly. Glover Quinn, you stole him in the fourth. What happened? I'm gonna let him walk for Ed Reed. Earl Mitchell, small as defensive tackle. He's gonna bring in some beef, huh? Nah, that didn't work out. He went to Miami. Brandon Harris, what your legitimate words were, this is gonna be a multiple all-pro. Multiple all-pro Brandon Harris. Nobody knows who the hell he is. Nobody. Derek Newton, yeah, you paid him a lot of cash. Good job on that 7th-round pick. But what you did after that? Brooks Reed gone. DeVere Posey gone. Ben Jones, let him rock. Randy Bullock, why you drafting the kick in the 5th round? Keyshawn Martin, nah, bro, that ain't work out either. You sent him to the Patriots. The whole 2013 draft class minus DeAndre Hopkins. I can't let shit like that pass, bro, because if you're going to sit here and try to build a resume that you can go out there and find talent that's undrafted in Boyer and Foster, bravo to you. What the hell are you doing in 11 drafts? Like, bro, you've done nothing positive as a GM. I have no remorse for you being fired. You're fired. You didn't step down. You're fired. And you deserve to be fired.
Let them know. And then also, you said you gave him props for the saying that Peyton Manning, we should have got Peyton Manning. Negative, because Peyton Manning was perfect for that offense because they had weapons. We didn't have enough weapons.
But what I'm giving him props for is he went to Kubiak and he went to Bob and said, look, he had a contract for Peyton. I don't know if y'all heard this story before, but he literally had a contract for Peyton to sign. Gary said he didn't want to change the offense. McNair said, hey, I'm going to listen to the head coach. You know what he's doing. He believes in Schaub. I feel bad for him for that. But the fact that he was not able to do anything past the 1st round, you should be able to find a star in 30 picks. Okay,
Well,
in the first
trash.
round, you got 30 picks to find a star. You should be able to do that in the first round, but it's no excuse for you to be able to find nothing in the 2nd through 7th. I'm sorry.
Sir,
I'm sorry.
sir, I don't mean to interrupt you, but just FYI, if the Texans would have drafted Aaron Rodgers, they would have turned him into Alex Smith. So glad we dodged the bullet with that one. Thanks.
Bruh.
Oh, shots fired.
Travis Johnson is the worst Seminole of all time, and I knew
No, he's
from the
not.
fact. I knew from the fact. Oh, he was great in college, but
No, he's not. He's
from
not
a-
worse than Jamal Reynolds.
from a personal beef, that dude came down here and clocked the fuck out, and I cannot forgive him for that. I can't forgive him for that. I would even took Derek Johnson. I would have took anybody except
But
Travis Johnson.
why are you blaming him for that?
No, it wasn't Rick Smith. That was Charlie Casserly.
No.
I said I blame Charlie on that.
Why are you blaming like Travis for being Travis? I mean, that's what scouting is all about. That's what front offices are supposed to do.
Hey,
You're
look,
supposed to run your background and do your due diligence on prospects.
But
You
first
should
off,
know if he's going to be a lazy ass player.
Travis was the wrong fit for this defense in the beginning. He should not have been in the 3-4. He's not a 3-4 interior lineman, and anybody who watched football should have known that at that time. Terrible
So they
fucking
drafted
pick.
him anyways.
Terrible
though,
fucking pick. But like I said, that was Charlie Casserly. That wasn't even Rick Smith.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't even Rick Smith. That was Charlie Casserly. Rick Smith's first pick ever was a Mobile Coy Elliott, undersized defensive lineman, and he was out the league in no time. He drafted him because he was smart, but being smart doesn't make up for the fact that you was only 5'11". Don't make up the fact. And they trying to throw you out there at 19 years old in the trenches. No. Goodbye, Rick Smith.
You sound like you have a sizable chip on your shoulder, sir.
Get out of here.
Oh, very, very. No, don't get me wrong. I don't like the fact that we went out and hired a yes man in Brian Gang, but this is only going to put
Elliott Wolf, but I won't say nothing.
Hey, and I hope he does a good job with the Browns. And that was also somebody that I respected. It was two guys from Green Bay that we was looking at.
Oh hell, Cleveland ain't gonna miss now. They went and hit the trifecta. Signed on John Dorsey to be the GM, and his two assistants are Alonzo Highsmith and Elliott Wolf.
And they interviewing Sean Ryan for the OC position, who's the quarterback coach for the Texans at the moment. And that'll be a hell of a hire. Cleveland's gonna get their shit together in due time.
Brother, with them personnel dudes that's up there right now coming from Green Bay, and the fact that they literally have a candy jar full of goodies with draft picks. Oh yeah. They're about to feel like they're playing Madden right now. Like they're literally about to feel like they're playing a video game.
Saquon Barkley will be my first round draft pick in any case.
Bro, and with all these folks that's declaring right now, all these prospects that's coming out right now, jeez. And you got 2 of the top 5 picks?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
then I want to say,
I'm sorry, I said that wrong. 2 of the first 5 picks to start off with.
Yeah. That's big time. That's huge.
That's insane. That's insane.
But man, any other hires or anything y'all had seen that stuck out to you?
None at all.
I
did like what's the name getting signed? Oh, go for it.
I was just gonna say I appreciate the overhaul that my team did. Packers going through and promoting from within. With their GM hire with Brian Gutekunst, going through and making necessary changes, getting rid of Dom Capers as DC, replacing him with Mike Pettin. Another pick that I really love, Rex Ryan disciple, guy that preaches multiple looks, being able to adapt and adjust on the fly, which has been a notorious problem for Green Bay defenses the last few years. I like the fact that they're putting Mike McCarthy in a position now that love him or hate him, and I always have leaned more towards hating him. He has no more scapegoats, no more excuses, and he will literally be coaching for his job next year. They gave him everything that he wanted. They gave him a more aggressive GM that's going to go out and participate in free agency and do what it takes to get players out there that he needs. He got a fresh new DC that he handpicked, all his new assistants and stuff like that. So it's squarely on him. So sky's the limit, or he'll be out on the first thing smoking next year.
I kind of like the hiring of Norv Turner for Carolina. Kind of opens their offense up a little bit, even though he's kind of old. But hey,
I don't, because if he still got that same playbook from San Diego and Dallas back in the day, it's not gonna work.
See, but that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. They hired him because he was the kind of person that challenged the downhill throwing, and that's kind of what Cam needs to get back to.
If you get receivers, Jesus Christ, who the hell he throwing to at a receiver?
Nobody. Greg Olsen.
Well, I mean, we say that, but it's not like they don't have talent. They dealt with injuries and stuff like that, but they drafted talent to go through.
Curtis Samuel was a huge loss. That was a
he did get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, and that was your deep threat. You got Curtis Samuel on one side. You had Funchess out there. You had another guy that they had whose name.
Another dude that got hurt. I can't remember his name either.
They dealt with a lot of injuries with their wide receiving course, so that kind of hindered their ability. And Cam losing his safety blanket for a significant amount of time, and Greg Olsen just kind of threw a whole kink in their passing game. Period. I mean, they appreciate the fact that Christian McCaffrey was able to get out there and catch as many passes as he did, but that didn't mean that they wanted him to. That was more necessity than actual, planning per se. But, you give him a time to get used to the weapons, let Norv see what he can play with as far as these young receivers go and stuff like that. And yes, Cam is one of those guys that for him to be functioning at full capacity, you have to have a vertical passing game system in place for him. He's not a West Coast guy.
That's 100% fact, man. And before we get into this week's playoffs matchups, did anything stick out to you guys from the wild card weekend that just passed up?
Yeah, the Kansas City is still a joke, man. Jesus,
is it officially the end? Like, can we write that?
They gotta holler at Andy Reid and say you ain't cutting it. Like, what is it? I think it's like, let me see. It's only 4 teams in NFL history that came back from a 18-point deficit or something like that, and Kansas City owns 2 of those or something like that. I was like, come on, Andy Reid, you got to get together. I know losing Travis Kelce was a lot, and Mariota passing to himself. I mean, so it's just, I don't know, man. It is what it is. Andy Reid, man.
Derrick
They didn't run. They didn't run it enough. They didn't run enough.
Fucking showed up. Derrick
Henry said that we got to get DeMarco Murray up out of this bad.
Oh yeah, he got to go. DeMarco Murray got to go. It's Henry time, bro.
Yeah.
What else did I see? Jacksonville defense is still going to be a problem for the Steelers. I think it's going to be an upset, but
Nah, ain't no upset.
No, it's going to be upset. I think Jacksonville. I just think Blake Bortles is pissed and tired of being the butt of everybody's fucking joke, man. Like we sleep on like the Buffalo Bills don't have a good secondary and shit like that. They have a good pass rush.
They was at the 1 yard line and passed it to Kelvin Benjamin and got an offensive holding penalty.
I'm just like,
bro, they did some stupid shit that they could have taken advantage. They could
think about it. I can look at it like this. When Blake Bortles has an actual running game going,
he was the running game.
Be all right. But guess what? He was the running game. But no one ever wants to highlight. Everybody wants to highlight a flashlight. 12 or 23 for 87 yards. Blake Bortles is garbage. But then again, let's talk about what the hell is Leonard Fournette doing? I need you to run to take some of that pressure off of me, because guess what? Buffalo does have a very underrated defense. And people act like it wasn't windy. Everybody's like, it wasn't too windy out there. It looked fucking windy to me on TV. But
and they was lucky that McCoy couldn't get out there.
And I truly believe, guess what? Last time I checked, I hear y'all hear this echo or no?
No, you good, bro.
Okay. The last time I checked, I saw the Steelers play the Browns, and they made that boy Kaiser look like an MVP candidate. So
it was all bums out there, though.
No, it wasn't. Y'all played y'all starters out there. Y'all played y'all starters out there. Don't start the bullshit, DeMarcus. Y'all rested. No, y'all rested. No starters, and Joe Hayden played that game. And y'all got your ass torched.
Here's the thing. You go through and say what you want about Blake Bortles. I've seen worse do better. I watched Trent Dilfer get a ring. I watched Brad Johnson get a ring.
I saw Fluco.
On top of that, Blake Bortles just faced a much better front seven than he's about to face.
Mm-hmm. And guess what?
He faced much better corners than he's about to face, because Artie Burns says he's okay. We don't know that for sure. Because non-contact knee injuries.
Name the price.
Let me ask you a question.
Name the price. What y'all want? The Steelers not gonna lose.
Let me ask you a question. What is y'all rush defense ranked in the league?
The rush defense is like bottom 15.
Bottom 5. Fournette's gonna get it going. It's gonna take that pressure off of Bortles. Bortles is gonna get it going. you know, Jalen
happening.
Ramsey is twisting
Not
his hips up here
Look,
talking crazy.
I get it. I get
telling
it.
you, man.
I've been on this train all season. Y'all just
Nah.
can't wait for it to derail.
Well,
but it's not
let me ask you
happening.
this,
It's
DeMarcus.
not happening.
Let me ask you this, DeMarcus. What's more likely to happen? Steelers front seven breaking down or Jaguars secondary breaking down?
Steelers front seven.
Okay, that being said, we don't know what the weather is going to be like for this weekend, so we don't know if it's going to be one of those things that leans more towards the ground and pound, or with Heinz Field, it's chance for inclement weather. It can be anything from slow
Heinz Field is a different field
like
every day. Every day.
Okay, my thing is this: whose defense do you trust more in those situations?
It's not about the defense no more. It's about the quarterback that I trust more, and I'm riding with Big Ben. I'm riding with Big Ben. You can't trust Ben because Big Ben for a 5-week stretch after that bullshit ass game that y'all was all excited about. The Steelers are over. Put up the best numbers in the NFL.
Who made a man? What team made you contemplate retirement?
He was just joking, man. That's just
he was not joking.
He wasn't serious about that. Ben wasn't serious about that. You don't go out there and really like it.
About that. I don't even care about any of that rhetoric or anything like that. I'm just literally talking about the facts as they're presented. Like when it comes down to this, it's one of those things that's funny because we go through and I understand why you would have the trust in Ben, as it pertains to playoff experience, big game situations, being able to come through in the clutch, things like that. But as we've talked about all season, there's just certain teams that are just bad matchups for other teams.
And this is a bad
And in my opinion, when you just look at the matchup, when you just look at it on the eyeball test, that defense for Big Ben is a terrible matchup.
It is.
Just like the Saints.
Because he threw 5.
Hear me out.
I get that.
Hear me out. And I'm not even going to that. My thing is this. The reason why I have my doubts about Pittsburgh as far as them being able to get over the hump against Jacksonville and Big Ben in particular is because of the fact that, like you said, he's been on fire ever since he had that game. He's had some great performances. He's come down. He's been clutched the whole 9 yards. I still see an opportunity for Big Ben to have a bad game.
And you can, but the weakness that Jacksonville has is that you can rush on them. And Big Ben still has a top 5 offensive line, and he still got the best running back in football, and also the best running back that's left in the playoffs in Le'Veon Bell, who's hungry for a new contract. Don't believe everything you hear as far as in retirement, blah, blah, blah. That's all bullshit. They trying to distract him. Le'Veon Bell was going to put up 100+ and a touchdown. Steelers going to take this game 21-14.
Man, honestly, if you look at all these playoff matchups this weekend, they're all bad matchups because you can look at each one and pick. You can give each one some love. Like everybody wants to shit on the Patriots and the Titans game.
Saints and Vikings should be the best game.
Let's true be told.
I disagree.
I disagree too. I think the Titans and the Patriots game is going to be pretty damn entertaining because
I think that the Jags and Steelers are going to be by and far the best game of the entire.
Oh, it's going to be the best game.
There's only one in the dome that's going to have a lot of points, and I think it's going to be that Vikings Saints game.
No, it's not because
I actually don't think that game is going to have a lot of points.
Me neither, because I think the Vikings defense matches up very well with the Saints offense. That's the bad part.
I think Drew Brees can get 20 on them. And I'm actually picking the Saints to win that game.
The Vikings actually have the best linebacker group left in the playoffs.
Saints are going to the Super Bowl, and I fully believe it.
I do too.
Drew Brees is fully locked in, and he's going to put up 20 on the Vikings defense. I fully believe it. As much as I like Case Keenum, I don't think Case is ready for this moment. And
I still like the Eagles.
You like who?
I still like the Eagles.
Me too. I still like the Eagles. I think.
The Eagles underdog. I don't know how that game gonna go. Now it depends. It depends what Matt Ryan and Devontae Freeman and Julio Jones show. If you get the one from last week, it could be a different game because them boys are playing hard and they're playing hard.
Ain't gonna happen.
I think that people are ignoring the elephant in the room, and that's the fact that a very underappreciated Philadelphia defense is going to show up against Atlanta.
Ain't been playing too bad either, man.
But guess what? Who has the better offensive line?
With that being said, the Falcons defense has gotten a lot more publicity than the Eagles have, and that's sad considering the amount of production you've gotten out of that Eagles defense.
And
all
what does the
season
Eagles?
long.
And what does the Eagles defense get? Turnovers. Something that that the Falcons don't get. They may get some sacks, but they don't get them
Hey,
turnovers. And on top of that, guess
And
who
they still
offensive
got a
line?
lot of Seminoles on that defense
Who
too.
who offensive line is better? Ours, and ours hold up pretty well.
Without Jason Peters, I don't know. I don't know,
think we're gonna
man.
be all right.
I
Nick
don't know.
Foles gonna throw. He gonna come out there and throw 2 on y'all, and Jay Ajayi gonna show everybody that he gonna be
Oh wait,
a top 3.
Time out. Where's Atlanta playing?
Outside.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. Next game.
Outside.
It's only gonna be 49 degrees. That'd be all right.
Next
But
game.
it's gonna be
I
outside.
really wouldn't give a damn what it is.
Y'all act like Nick Foles wasn't completely ass these past couple games.
I really don't care.
You gotta shake the rust off. You gotta shake the rust off. What's that mean?
I'm not really worried about it.
The only way I see the Eagles pulling this out is if Jay Ajayi runs
I just told
like a
you what it
madman.
said. I just said
No,
Jay
man,
Ajayi is
there's
gonna
nothing
show
wrong with
you.
playing ball control, and Matt Ryan can have a typical 2017 Matt Ryan game and not show his ass up.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Jay Ajayi is going to show everybody why he's going to be a top 3. I want to say a third. I want to say in the top 2 round pick next year because they're going to utilize him in the offense. Huh?
That's what I said. How long you expect him
With
to
them knees? Nah, bro.
Maybe 5, 4.
I love you.
Maybe.
I love you, but nah, player.
Nah, he's gonna ball
knees,
next
homie.
year. He gonna ball next year. Watch.
He will ball by committee.
Like I said, I'll take the Falcons in that one. I like the Falcons' chance. The Titans it's gonna come down to Derrick. If Derrick Henry runs like he ran last week, he can't on this defense. He can. Everybody keeps getting that hot towel's not there.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the Patriots don't match.
Well, I mean, he ain't got no excuses because DeMarco is out for this game, so it's all on Henry.
And the Patriots don't match up well.
They don't match up well at all with Mariota team.
Yeah,
if Mariota run the ball and he kind of looks like how Mariota can look sometimes and play decent.
It's 3 keys. It's a Corey Davis long touchdown.
It's going Corey Davis,
Henry going ape shit, and Delaney Walker making the middle his.
Yes, sir.
Like controlling the middle.
You forgot one more key factor. If Eric Decker actually catches his ball, he might be all right.
Marcus Mariota is going to have a Marcus Mariota game, and that's going to be their downfall.
I want the Titans to win.
Hey man, the Patriots go.
Oh, I'm sure everybody outside of the city of Boston wants the Titans to win.
I wouldn't mind. No. I actually wouldn't mind the Patriots to continue to win because I want to see what is this going to shake off. Like, what is he going to do?
I would love to see the Jaguars run through the Steelers and the Patriots on the way to the Super Bowl. Me personally.
Yes, sir. Choo choo.
I mean, hey.
Still
Blake Bortles. And then look, Blake, it would be so fucking perfect.
Blake would be like, I beat Big Ben. I beat Tom.
He gonna get that Joe. If he get that Joe Flacco contract,
he can talk his shit.
I'll be done with shit. I'll be done with life, man.
He'll show up to that Super Bowl parade with that Kanye fur on.
Let's go. He gonna say, hey, Blake gonna have his resume. 1 championship. I beat Ben. I beat Tom, and I beat Breeze. This is beautiful.
Fuck with me. Fuck with me.
Now the butt of the joke is now the head of the joke.
He gonna sound like an Astros fan over there. I'm feeling it.
When he come out to this press conference, he gonna have that song on. Fuck with me and get some money.
Yeah.
please don't smother up the party. All right. Moving on.
I scored a rapid pace. Touchdowns in your face.
I'm so done. I'm so done with you.
Bars, he gonna kill out there.
Man, anything I want to tell the coach before we wrap everything up?
Man, I have nothing out there for them to watch, man. Oh,
Grownish, hey,
Grownish is on. I have not checked it out. I heard it's really good. Blackish has returned. I missed both episodes. I did not know it came back. Came back quick on my boy.
On demand.
Let me fill you in.
Uh-oh.
As an old head, it is equal parts hilarious and very thrilling for me. Watching Blackish that I've always loved, and now seeing the spinoff Grownish. It was a friend of mine, I think, that actually said something to the effect of it. Big Dog John Marshall, if you're listening, I believe it was my boy John that said it. Blackish is the Cosby Show for this century, and
I believe
Grownish
it.
is a different world for this century. That's exactly what the parallel is.
That's fact.
That's what I told Shantae.
So if you like those shows, these are literally the 21st century versions of those two shows. Grownish is very, very charming. It has that same feel and format like Blackish, but the perspective of an entirely different show, entirely different plot point, entirely different set of challenges and things that go on. It is a wonderful, wonderful description and microcosm of female college life right now. It is an extraordinary show. I'm supremely impressed by the episodes that I've seen so far. I think that they're doing an awesome job. Yet another grand slam, Blackish. I think that it is extraordinary. I think everybody should watch it. I think everybody will love it.
I'm with you, man. I caught the first episode. It was damn good. Damn!
Now I really can't wait.
It make damn. Oh, because I watched.
I was surprised. I was surprised, honestly. When I went into it, eyes wide open with no expectations. I was like, oh, okay, well, let's see. Maybe it's just gonna be, quote unquote, a spinoff. No, it's its own show.
And you know what's crazy about it? I heard they switched the whole format because they did a kind of a test run of her own episode of her going to college. And that shit was horrible. I'm talking about horrible.
Yeah, they did a
really bad because it was very forced. But I'm looking forward to what I've heard about grown up ish, whatever grown-ish or whatever.
And let me keep beating my dead horse again for everybody, all of my comic book heads out there, all of my Marvel fans. If you are not watching The Gifted, you are missing out on the best X-Men show that they have ever made.
I haven't watched.
Followed closely behind for all of my people that dive into the Hulu, Marvel's Runaways. Fucking extraordinary. Extraordinary. Full pun intended on the X. Two awesome shows. If you have a chance, give them a look. It's the best X-Men related content that I've ever seen in a live action film.
Can't wait. Can't wait to look at it.
Man, my boy Buzz be coming with it, boy.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's some of those things that are just kind of hidden that a lot of people don't really pay attention to or whatever. But when we talk about the TV shows, when we get into our debates and we talk about stuff with, DC and Marvel, and one of the things that we always talk about is that when it comes to TV shows, well, DC has a nice, comfortable lead on Marvel when it comes to their TV content. Well, Marvel is doing their due diligence and they're kind of bridging the gap because these shows are actually really, really good, really, really strong content, really, really good storylines. They got really good writers behind them, and it's really, really entertaining to see. It's refreshing because you want to get good stuff from both sides.
Can I flip it right quick? And this is a personal opinion. This is probably center all base, and you may not agree 1%. When I was growing up, I was a DC fan because I feel like I liked their gritty. It was kind of in reality type of world settings with a lot of the characters. So I kind of gravitated more to DC. So when I'm watching these TV shows that's going on, Marvel and DC, from Daredevil to Arrow, Flash, all that.
And now, don't get me wrong. The same way we do our divisions when it comes to movies and animated movies is the same way that I do when it comes to TV shows that come on TV and shit that comes on streaming.
Yeah.
To me, those are completely different because a Daredevil, I would never compare to a Flash or an Arrow because the shit you can do on Netflix is completely different from what you can do on CW.
And that's the thing that it blew my mind is when I watch those films. You think that TV was tailored, or like cable TV was tailor made for all Marvel type shows.
Yep.
And I did not think that DC would go the TV route, and I mean not TV route, but with the cable programming and not go streaming because their stuff is so catered towards that streaming service and getting that grit like you get from a Daredevil or like a Runaways, like you're saying. I mean, man, I wish it was on there so bad because I like Arrow. Arrow was a cool show, but it's just like, I just need a little bit less campy, man. I need a little bit.
Well, the thing that we always have to remember too is the fact that we have our preferences and stuff like that because we're a little bit of a different demographic as far as what we look for in content that we like and stuff like that. You also have to remember two things when it comes to DC and their tendency to still stick with regular TV programming is that the shit that started this whole thing off and gave everybody confidence to do everything started with them doing something on regular TV on the CW with Smallville. If Smallville didn't exist, none of this shit would exist in the way that we know it right now. Smallville gave companies the confidence to say, you know what, this comic book shit can sell. Let's go ahead and do it. If it wasn't for that, they wouldn't have the inroads that they have. It was going to be a natural progression that they would always never bite the hand that feeds them. That's why they continue to pump CW full of their content and programming. It's always been a win for them, but we assume, number one, that everybody that looks at this stuff is mature or mature enough to process mature programming. And B, you always have to think about next generation. I always enjoy the fact that I can sit and I can watch The Flash and I can watch Green Arrow and I can watch DC Legends of Tomorrow with my 5- and 7-year-old godsons and goddaughters. I can't watch Daredevil and Punisher with them yet.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it still doesn't cut them off from being able to still join in, be a fan, live those dreams like we did when we was kids, and then you build up to those kinds of things. Everything has its own lane. Everything has its own demographic. I applaud Marvel for not dumbing down some of the characters that don't need down. Daredevil should never, ever be kid-friendly because it ain't that type of character. You know what I'm saying? Spider-Man, you got latitude with stuff like that. Daredevil, hell no. The way that they do Defenders, Luke Cage, stuff like that, hell no. They need to keep it the same way that they do it. But that's a lane that feeds a particular demographic for a particular type of fan. Kids eventually will grow into that. They'll be able to experience that. That's great. But you still need the stuff that kids get to latch on to at an early age. You still have to have those things that get kids interested early. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm with you 100% on that, Will.
You kind of need that campy. Not that we just dig in and, we're just going to enjoy it. But it's something that I can go through and bring in a whole new generation of fans that can understand why I love it. They can learn to love it just like I did.
Nice. I'm with you, big dog. Yeah, man. I'm gonna hop on my Netflix tonight and see what I can put me up something good.
And I'm sorry, one last thing to grind y'all's gears because I know y'all aren't Hulu dudes, but shouts out to Hulu. Shouts out to Hulu because they just dropped out the entire series of Living Single on their streaming service.
I can't wait to watch that bad boy.
That is huge, bro.
Oh man, great history lesson. 90s female program, and that was Friends before Friends. They just didn't want to admit it.
Yes, sir. Look, he's living.
You can't help but want to drop that out. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a 90s title world.
I need to go give me a yellow, green, red, orange shirt or something just to put on striped.
You know what I'm saying?
Striped, of course.
And turned up
with the jean overalls. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get full night. But yeah, but man, as for now, this has been Fish and Grits, and you guys have just been served.
Black Panther.
Oh.
Peace.